Hello?
Good start.
Hello?
Anybody there? No,
Is anybody there? Oh.
Are you my daddy?
It's not spooky anymore, is it?
No,
Oh,
it's
no.
not.
Oh.
No.
Could have been, but it's not.
It's illegal.
So,
We're not. Yeah. The statute of spookitations has passed now.
Yeah, that's right.
October 31st rolls around. It's illegal to be seen outdoors being spooky, and you
It's
will
Christmas
be
time.
apprehended. Oh, yeah.
It's Christmas time now. That's it.
Is this Marriott's then? Oh, that sounds a bit too close to a hotel chain. We might get done for that.
Jingliots.
Oh,
Jingliots is good.
Jingliots sounds a bit too close to Jinkles, actually.
Yeah, we can't say jinkles, can we? Don't say jinkles.
Oh. Christiots?
Christiots is good.
Christiots.
Jesus Christiots.
Jesuits.
Oh, good. It rolls off the tongue. I like it.
Yeah.
With all the jazzes at the start there that I did.
Jesuits.
Jesuits. What about figgy puddingiots?
Perfect.
Now
Figgy
bring
pudding.
us a figgy pudding. Doesn't it sound horrible? Figgy pudding.
Figgy pudding. Have you ever had figgy pudding?
No, have you?
No.
What is figgy pudding? Figgy. I assume it's figs, yeah, but...
Probably. No, it's pudding, Michael.
but it's awfully figgy.
Whatever it is, it sounds like it keeps you incredibly regular.
It does, doesn't it? It'll fire right out of you again. Undigested.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by how, after saying no Halloween talk, and then sort of ironically starting to talk about Christmas, we're now having a conversation about Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm just... Figgy pudding got bread and butter pudding in my head, which, admittedly, I've never had it in my life, and I didn't realise it's literally just slices of bread in a pudding. Like, the main ingredient is bread.
It is.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Is it? I mean, I like bread, I like butter, and I like pudding, so I can't see why I wouldn't like it.
You have to get it right. It can be a bit soggy, I find.
Yeah.
Soggy pudding.
It basically has the consistency of a steamed pudding that you would have with a custard or an ice cream.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
Steamed puds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I think are we doing a pod? Are we recording Podiots right now? Or are we just chatting
we're recording
crap to each other?
Recording Podiots.
Podiots. That's the one.
Yes.
Figgy Podiots.
Oh.
These are getting worse, aren't they?
First few minutes of the podcast are always a bit rough.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podiots, the official Vidiots podcast. It's a conversational podcast where we take some questions from you at home and obey the law of the three R's, where everybody brings
a thing along to talk about.
I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Michael.
How the Dickens are you all?
Whoa.
How dare you say that?
Sorry, how the penis are you all?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Penisins are you all?
I'll admit I'm a bit stinky at the minute.
Oh no, a bit stinky.
What's new?
What's new? Wow, rude. That's the main thing that's going on in my life. Is the fact I haven't showered today. But this seems to be a recurring theme with lockdown podiots.
I haven't washed. Before the show, you told us you haven't drank any water.
I'm falling apart.
What's going on over there, Mikey? What's the problem?
I'll be honest. Have you ever heard of a game called Cookie Clicker?
Oh no.
Yes, I have.
I've fallen back into that.
Oh,
and it's literally every waking hour spent looking at this screen, racking up cookies.
How far have you got?
Yeah, what is the? I know about what it is, but does it really have that kind of hold on you?
It's weird. It's just this natural instinct that's like numbers are going up. That's good. I like that. Let's make those numbers bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm currently producing 857 billion cookies a second.
Wow.
Right.
And I discovered there's actually there's a proper community behind Cookie Clicker, and I've read into it more, and apparently the end game takes 4 or 5 years to get to of pretty consistent play.
Jesus.
Oh my god. And isn't it all done? It's all just sort of done like in Notepad, like the visual style is, Or does it not look like that anymore? Like it used
Oh, it's been totally revamped now. It looks amazing.
Wow.
Does it?
It's a pleasure to gawk at for 14 hours a day.
Let's see, cookie clicker.
My goodness.
Oh no, but Peter, don't open it. It's dangerous.
Yeah, Peter's not going to be able to do the rest of the podcast.
No, I just want to see what it looks like because didn't it used to just be? Is it? How do you pronounce that? ASCII art? ASCII?
Yeah.
Just letters, like it, as I say, like a notepad document or whatever. But wow, look at that.
I've got prisms, time machines,
Christ,
army of grandmas. It's
Cookie
great.
clicker. Right, I'm now here. Robot burgers bake. Okay.
I've looked up Cookie Clicker original and there are no images where it used to look like that. I think that wasn't there there was a very similar thing as well that, yeah, I think.
You may be thinking of Dwarf Fortress.
I don't know if I'm thinking of Dwarf Fortress. Oh no, Candy Box.
Oh.
Yeah, that had candies and lollipops, but it was a very similar thing. It's like you would plant candies, they would turn into like lollipop trees, which would then make more candies. It was kind of the same thing. And that was all done just with, it looked like a...
Oh, yeah, I remember this
Game
one.
Facts or something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bought a grandma.
Oh, you got a grandma? Well done.
I bought a grandma.
Congratulations.
It's like worms.
Yeah. So this is it, huh? This is what...
Eventually, the game starts playing itself, and that's the best bit.
I'm going to buy another grandma. What do the grandmas do?
Don't get too into it, otherwise you won't be able to shower anymore.
I've got no one to stink up. It's okay.
True. Guess so.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm just blending in with the ferrets at this point, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Anyway, that's me. How are you boys?
I bought a third grandma.
Whoa, 3 grandmas, you greedy boy. How does that even
Fantastic.
work?
I'm going to
Only have
close.
2.
I'm going to close it now. There we go. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
What have you two been up to? No clicking of cookies, I take it.
God, I don't know. I mean, I've been away for a few days.
You're thinking really hard about whether or not you've been clicking cookies.
No, I'm trying to think what I can and can't say because my thing is about something that happened to me while I was away. So I've got to hang fire. But yeah, I've spent a couple of days in Northumberland just with Amy in a self-catering like Airbnb. So we were able to do it without coming into contact with any other human beings, apart from on one day we went and had a socially distant meal out. But apart from that, we've been nice and isolated.
Nice.
Oh,
Lovely. That's nice. Are you guys ready for Lockdown 2?
oh boy.
Yeah,
Yay.
can't wait. Yeah.
Sequel to Lockdown. It's going to be good. It's going to be
Especially when
worse.
it happens over Christmas, that'll be really lovely. Yeah, they could have maybe done it. If they'd done it sooner, it might have just eased at Christmas. But no, they waited until now. It can only be over Christmas.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, let's delay it so much that when we have to take action, it's at the worst possible time.
Indeed.
Well, the economy needs all that money to feed poor children, right?
But the economy, Michael.
The economy.
The economy.
Yes. Ah, great.
Anyway, I'll tell you what economy is a robust one, yeah? What economy
the cookie
is
economy.
Yeah, well, we know that.
8 billion a second.
At least 12 grandmas on that operation, I assume. I have no idea.
It's actually 14. Ooh, very
14?
14 whole grandmas.
They're making a lot of cookies. Holy shit. No, of course, I'm talking about Pod Squad. If you would like to support us financially, it really, really does mean the world to us and helps us out a lot with running costs and things. And you may think, well, these idiots, what running costs they talking about? We have to pay for podcast hosting and that kind of stuff. And your contributions help an awful lot. If you just want to listen, that's absolutely fine. We love you and we appreciate your listener support. And also if you could go tell all of your cookie grandmas and they'll tell all their cookie grandmas, that would be amazing too. If you would like to join Pod Squad, donate £3 or more, you will get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the next applicable podcast. And if you want to do that, you go to streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. There's links in the description and all sorts of stuff like that. So without further ado, here comes your pod squad for this week.
Cum Bob Squarepants.
Awful.
Starting strong.
Awful.
Starting strong. Trunter's Beef Curtains. Cameron Skelly. Lil Willie Defoe. One Vowel from She-Ra. Cheeky last minute donation. Harry Houdini fucked my weenie. Oh dear. What culture bosses love Trump?
Oh my God, do they?
I have no idea.
We heard it here first. Boris the Cock Johnson, Stephen Scodes, Specky Becky, and Prince Beefcakes.
Also, a very tired Asda employee, Lord Brotovich, Emily Lemons, Stinky Poo Poo, the very generous Aaron Bollard, who said, been following you boys or girls since the name redundant days. Don't think I've ever laughed as hard as during the flat arm story. Thanks for all the laugh out louds in this sometimes very dark world.
Thank you,
Aaron.
Thank you.
Stukalicious is pooping. Raw cunting daughter, lovely. Lance Corporal Scott Bukaki, or Buckcake, I suppose.
Bootcake.
Repeated concussive love tap, Kermit the Pog, and Tiny Pete Big Feet. Lovely.
Classic.
We also have JT the Destroyer, Freddie Weber, Big Titty Jesus 42, Kevin from Con. Oh, what is that?
Oh, is that?
Eulaui Mea Drogi Nubopis.
Okay.
Possibly?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I have
seems right.
absolutely no idea what that is.
Don't ask
There's
me.
a
I
lot
struggle
of
with
vowels
simpler names
there.
than that.
Chucky the Fucky Doll. Shit in my bleep, then bleep me. I censored that because it wasn't funny. It was just disgusting.
Wow.
Big Titty Jesus 42 again. Thin Dick Passive Boyfriend.
Oh.
Who was very generous and said, whatever happened to big tittied supportive goth girlfriend? Where's she at? Did I get on the squad too late? Sad times. Keep it up, gentlemen. Also, yes to a D&D thing. Owen Wilson's Own Wilson. Invest in hamster cheese. And the lovable Kazy or Kazi. Thank you very much, everyone. That's your pod squad for this week. You get a shout out at the end of the show as well. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. Would you like a question, boys?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This is from Jack Without the C. At Jack Without the C.
It's pronounced Jack.
Oh my God, how did I pronounce it?
Jack, but you pronounced it with the C, I think.
Yeah, sorry.
The C's silent.
No, I pronounced it very wrong. You hear a knock at your door. You open the door. It's delete as appropriate. Mikey, Peter, Ben, and Exhibit. They're all here to pimp your ride. What are you having done to turn your car into the car of your dreams?
Oh, my God.
I would like my car to have Tim Westwood just all over
Fall
it.
back.
Fall back. Just problematic Tim Westwood going to university campuses and apparently being really creepy.
Oh, good.
Oh,
That's
course.
seemingly what he does nowadays.
I want to listen to Tim Westwood before he became like he is. Like, as a child, he must have been normal. He must have been a good little boy.
Yeah.
Something went wrong.
Timothy Westwood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him.
Actually, Timothy Northwood, thank you.
Oh, Timothy South Forest.
Timothy, correct side of the tracks, Wood. from the nice part of town.
Oh, God. So, let's start with you, Michael.
Okay. I'm going to go for a fartmobile.
Okay, I was going to say, you currently don't have a vehicle, right?
True. That's a requisite of getting on Pimp My Ride, isn't it?
So let's pick you a car to start with. Like, what car are you going to pimp?
Could I just grab a ferret cage and mod that?
Yeah?
That's what I've got at hand, because I can't afford a car right now, so the best I can do is a cage. They've got wheels on them, so...
Oh, well,
Is
if
it
it's got
ferret
wheels,
drawn,
that's fine.
like a sort of carriage. It's like a ferret drawn coach with you can sort of whip some reins and say "yeah" and off they go. Is that?
Yeah. I'll incorporate the ferret in, so that'll be good. It's powered by pure methane. It's very environmentally friendly. It converts it into nice smelling rose smells. Everywhere I go, the smell of the ferrets is disguised by this lovely rose smell. It's got to have hydraulics. I want to be bopping up and down the street everywhere I go.
Yeah.
I remember on one of my favorite bits of Pimp My Ride was on one episode where they were looking around this person's car, and just in the front of the car they had a sticker that said, "It's fun to fart on your friends." And sadly that didn't survive the makeover. So I'm going to make that part of my makeover. I want that big bumper sticker that says, "It's fun to fart on your friends."
It's fun to fart on your friends.
Isn't it just?
I think I'm going to make it work so that it can drive in any direction.
Oh.
So, like, there's going to be a spinny chair in the middle. So I never actually really need to turn the car. I just make... It's like a weird tank that can go in any direction.
Because you just get the ferrets to run whichever direction you want, and they'll drag it in that direction.
I guess we have one ferret on each side of the cage. So then, and then whenever I want to go somewhere, there's a ferret treat dispenser which tells them where to go. And obviously some spoilers, some sick spoilers.
Oh, you need a spoiler?
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Man.
Snow kills Tywin Lannister. He doesn't.
He doesn't. He does fuck his aunt, though.
Yeah.
Someone's just panic quit the podcast there, haven't they?
No, Game of Thrones!
A beloved series which everyone definitely didn't forget about after the last season.
Yeah, no one talks about it anymore.
No, they don't, do
the
they?
Only time people talk about it is to say, wow, nobody talks about it anymore.
What a legacy.
Yeah.
Incredible work by the team there. Well
really
done.
good.
Yeah.
Peter, what's your base vehicle?
Well, so the three of us, I think, are coming from three different angles. So you do have your own car. I should know. I remember it bearing down on me at 25 miles an hour.
Hang on, it was not. You can't edit the narrative like that. I was going very slowly.
You were going incredibly slowly.
25. You would be so hurt.
Yeah, I know. That was the problem. It felt like 25, even though it was about 5.
Just rolling towards you.
It's such a funny bit. It's just the visual of it's so weak, but the fear in Peter is palpable on set. It was terrifying.
Yeah, I was fine until the camera started. Well, no, I mean, we filmed the dressing process as well, but as soon as you sort of stood back for the wide, I was like, hang on, what are we doing here again? What's happening?
Oh no.
It's like a scene out of a Fast and Furious film, like this dark garage. Ben turns on the car, the headlights come on.
Yeah.
Just rum, 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 rum.
Yeah, the most menacing vehicle you've ever seen.
For anyone who's baffled by this, I mean, I don't know how you've not seen this video if you're listening to Podiots, but Ben hit me with his car while I was wrapped up in bubble wrap on Vidiots.
Some say that's when we jumped the shark at Vidiots. Like
Do you
that's
think?
there was no I'm saying it. There was no coming back, but there was also no, I think, exceeding that moment.
Maybe so.
You know, that's when we reached peak Vidiots, and I don't know what we could have done apart from hit you with a bigger vehicle.
We could have got maybe another copy of the Little Britain DVD game and played that in full.
We could have done, yeah.
That
I like
was
how we
somewhere up
corrupted the game.
As peak
playing.
Idiots. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't say we jumped the shark. We backflipped over that motherfucker.
Yeah, we fucked that shark up.
Indeed.
Yeah,
we wrapped the shark in bubble wrap and ran over it. But as I was going to say before I got distracted by me knowing that you have a car because I was hit by it.
Yes.
You do have a car. Mikey doesn't have a car. I, in the past week, have acquired a car, but it's not mine. It's me mum's.
I'm in my mum's car.
I'm in my mum's car, broom, which is very nice. At the moment, just because everyone's working from home and stuff, they have both cars at their house, and they were like, we're just not using one of them, and it's going to just seize up, or we're going to have to just keep running it around the block. So they brought the car up, parked it in my garage, socially distantly. I left it there for a couple of days, and then got in it, because they're like looking after my grandparents, so we didn't want to come into contact with each other at all. We're doing the sensible thing. But anyway, we've ended up with a car here, which is nice, but not mine. So I'm pimping my mum's car, broom.
Nice.
Nice.
It's a Ford Fiesta. It's a very good, reliable car.
Mm-hmm.
That's I think that's when you've got like an okay car. The biggest compliment you pay is it's very reliable.
It's incredibly reliable. It's hardly needed any work doing to it at all, and it's about, I don't know, 15 years old or 10 years old or something, and it's just still going.
It's a Fiesta, isn't it? It's a fucking party on wheels.
It is, absolutely. But just to make it a true party on wheels, when Amy and I were away over a long weekend, we've already got National Trust sticker in the windscreen, so we can go to the National Trust.
Excellent.
We also have now joined English Heritage in true Peter Austin style in his mum's car, broom broom. So
very good.
I think I'm going to need a bigger windscreen to start with for all of my culture historical site parking stickers.
Yes.
So that's the first and most important thing. Loads of windscreen space, so we can get into all of these castle car parks without having to pay. Beyond that, I mean, who needs a pimped ride when you can just drive to a castle? Am I right? And get out.
Sure.
Pretty pimping.
What if you turned your entire Ford Fiesta into a castle?
Into a moving castle, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mum's moving castle.
Yes. So you built around the chassis of the original car, and you're just on the ramparts at the top with a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Bean.
Like Mr. Bean.
Just like Mr. Bean, yes.
That's kind of it. That's all I need. I guess maybe put a bit of 4-wheel drive on it and some good tyres so that I can get to the real wilds of Britain. But other than that, that's all I need.
Wow.
A castle on wheels.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
What about you, Ben? What are you going to do with your own actual car that belongs to you?
Well, as you both know, my car is already sort of perfect and doesn't need pimping at all. It's a very cool car. It's hip and goes fast.
It doesn't sort of seize up to the point where sometimes you'll have to drive it for a bit where the wheels don't turn.
Yeah, that's never happened.
Where it rusted up and the wheels weren't turning.
I tell you what's never happened is when I drove it once after a couple of months of inactivity around the car park, and the right rear wheel was so seized up that it just dragged along the floor and made it sound like I was doing donuts in the car park, and everyone came to their windows to look at the very slow, tiny vehicle just driving in a straight line.
With only 3 wheels turning and one dragging like a limp dog.
And you know what then didn't happen?
What didn't happen?
Some guy leaning out his window and going, I think one of the wheels is seized up.
Thanks, yep. Cool. Yeah, I know.
Because that's never happened, obviously there's nothing wrong with the car. So if I were to pimp it, I'd probably get the air conditioning fixed. I would maybe see about getting the dead spider removed from the rear brake light. I don't know how to get it out. So that's...
Exhibit comes to your front door with a camera crew. What would you like done to the car? Oh, could you just get rid of the spider for us?
Don't know how to get the spider out of there.
Exhibit's gonna take one look and just be like, "Nah, this isn't for me. You need
back.
You need my far less impressive brother, Show and Tell, to come and get the spider out."
Oh God!
I'd like some sort of cow catcher on the front, made of bouncy castle, just in case I hit a Peter. Because it does happen, as we've seen.
Cow bouncer. You don't catch anything.
Your chances of running over Peter are low, but they are never zero.
No, that's absolutely right.
So you need to be prepared. And then, like Mikey says, a spoiler, because you've got to have a spoiler.
Mm-hmm. What about...
I should get a PS2 in the front.
PS2. Yeah, I want a PS2 built into the dashboard. In fact, just take up the whole windscreen with a really big CRT.
The best thing about the PlayStations or TVs in the front of the car is you obviously can't use those when you're driving. So, what? You're just going to go out and sit on your driveway playing PlayStation? Like,
it
at
seems
home?
that way. I think I heard a story about... Like, maybe it was that specific one, or it might have been a different Pimp My Ride, where they... Like, took loads of shit out of it after they finished filming.
We've talked about this, yeah.
Yeah, is that right?
Me and you
was that the
talked about it
PS2 one?
we did a worst games ever recently, Pimp My Ride Street Racing, and we talked about how we'd heard this, and we don't really know if it's true or where it came from. The claim that they then just remove all the stuff afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I could not do that. I'd keep that car forever, even if I never drove it.
Oh, some of those cars, they look really weird today.
So strange.
My ride car.
Oh, we're both Googling at the exact same time.
Come on, let's have a look.
I remember when we played Pimp My Ride, the other one, where you can ghost ride the whip, which I think was at Vidiots, that worst games ever.
Ghost riding the whip, that was it.
One of the clients was, she was a fashion student, and so we put a sewing machine in the bed of the truck.
Why?
Why? Who's going to sit in the back?
I remember.
Like outside as well. Like it was it was a pickup truck, and it was just in the bed,
Just
It's so
Googling it
strange.
now.
Wow, look
Ben
at that
sent
car.
a beautiful. That's a
Hang
real
on.
beauty of a car.
This one has a chocolate fountain in the back.
That's not good over a speed bump.
That first one you posted has some sort of... Is that just loads of weed in the window? What's that there? What's that green stuff?
I don't
my
know. Maybe
God.
it's a horrible inlay, like a carpeted inlay.
Oh my God.
The chocolate fountain.
There's a
Love
chocolate
for.
fountain and candles and a rose, and then just massive speakers.
It also,
What
in the
the fuck?
background on the right-hand side, it appears to say twat.
It does. Twat.
Twat. That is liquid chocolate.
Oh, very good.
Thanks.
Big fan of the paint job on this one, though. It's badass.
Oh, wow.
They are
like-
garish, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, holy shit.
It's like
It
it's
was a different
constantly
time.
traveling at 88 miles an hour or whatever it is.
Exhibit's actually in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
what he's
Oh, he's
done.
quite small, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's really disappointed with what's happened.
And next to him is the small one there. That's show and tell.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
He can get the spiders out if he breaks.
Shit. Wow, that was a great question. Let's move
Good,
on
yeah,
to
enjoyed
the
that.
first thing of today. Who would like to go first?
I've got a little thing that I can show to you all.
Have you now? Go on. Go
Yeah.
on.
Show us your little thing, Peter.
I'm glad I remembered about this little thing because I really wanted to bring this to the show, and I forgot about it just before we started recording. And I was going to tell some story I'd found on the internet that apparently isn't even true. And I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? It's not even real, this story, and we're about to record. But I've remembered an anecdote, what done happened to me on the weekend.
Okay.
Yay!
So, Amy and I have been away to Northumberland. And as I say, on the first night we were there, we went to the local pub in the village that we were at because we'd been told that they were spacing out very nicely. And it was, if you're going to go out once on your stay here, that's probably a good-ish place to go. And we took all the precautions and we signed in and we NHS apped and we washed our hands and so on and so forth. And we had a lovely time. And when we sat down, we looked at the menu and it was kind of, there's different tiers of pub food in Britain. There's your Weatherspoons, which is
Bad.
microwaved, bad.
Yes.
And there's, you can go to really pretentious bistro pubs where it's like, you can get sort of the anus of a sloth or something, and it's 3 times baked, and it's got a mango air on it or something, whatever that is.
My favourite.
And this was sort of middle tier. It was like there was like game meat on there, like seasonal stuff. It wasn't just here's the steak and here's the gammon. So we were like, let's treat ourselves. We're on holiday. We'll have a starter as well as a main and maybe even a pudding afterwards.
Oh, you are bad.
We are bad. We are naughty. But not only did we just order a starter, we ordered some slightly pretentious starters in that we thought we'd have the pheasant parfait.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Wow.
Look at
In fact, it wasn't parfait. It was a pheasant terrine, which is different to a parfait in that it's like kind of like dog food, really. It's like cold. It's in like a square, like it's been dropped. Like they've peeled off the foil and then gone on top of your plate. But
you ever had steak tartare?
Yeah, it's a bit
Is
like
it like
that.
Because that's not. I discovered that wasn't actual steak the hard way. Yeah.
Mr. Bean makes that mistake.
Well, it's good to know that I'm in excellent, intelligent company.
Yeah. So we both ordered the pheasant terrine, and it came like parfait would, with sort of toasty stuff that you put on. You put it on, like spread it onto toast.
The tiny bread.
Yeah, the tiny bread. And there's never enough tiny bread, is there?
No.
So we were tucking in, and we're like, oh, aren't we? Look how good we are eating pheasant for starter at the pub. And we were chewing away, and like looking at it, seemed to be like sort of different bits of meat that had been put together. Like they used different bits of the pheasant, because you could kind of see it was different shades and textures throughout the slab. And as I'm chewing my way through, I suddenly sort of crunched down on this thing that's like really hard, and I'm like, oh, geez, it like nearly broke my tooth. I was like, flip me, there's like a bit of bone in here.
You can swear, Peter.
Fuck me, there's a fucking bone in here. Just like a little fragment of bone. So I didn't actually say anything. I just sort of bit down on it and silently went, in my head. And Amy could then see me sort of fishing around inside my own mouth with my tongue, trying to find this bone fragment to like take out. And she's like, What are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, oh, there's like a bit of bone in here. I'm just trying to find it. And it was really small. Like I kept sort of finding it, and then it was like getting lost again inside my mouth until I eventually found it, and I took it out, and it was really hard. I was like, even for bone, this is like very, very hard. And when I put it on the plate, it was a bit of shotgun pellet that had been used to kill the pheasant that I was eating.
That is the Toryest sentence I have ever heard.
Isn't it just? I was like, what the fuck is this? And I've got it here. I kept the pellet.
Did you talk to the pub people?
I debated talking to the pub people because I don't know if shot is still made of lead, is it? It certainly used to be lead shot.
Oh man, surely they wouldn't use it on things they eat, right? If
well, I guess not. But anyway, let me unwrap it. I've got it wrapped up because it's like I want to keep it forever. The bullet that I nearly swallowed. It's only little. It's a ball bearing, but it's made of metal, of course. And I'm going to see if I can drop it on the desk, whether you can hear it go. Okay. Can we all listen very carefully?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
No.
Nope.
Oh, it's being cancelled out. Let me hold my microphone right next to it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, heard that.
There it is. That's
wow,
a pellet.
That sounded
that's
weighty.
We'll give it one more.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. So I've now got my own shotgun pellet. It really is just a little metal ball bearing, and it really hurt to bite down on.
God. Those are a bit hard, aren't they? Jesus.
I think you would have got your pheasant for free if you brought it up with the establishment.
I thought about it, but I thought, in some ways it's not their fault, is it? They are they supposed to dig through the pheasant every time they kill one? I guess ordinarily, maybe like 99 times out of 100, the pellets just go through the pheasant and out the other end. Yeah. And this one somehow became embedded inside it, because I've never had that happen to me before with, if I've ever had like venison or something like that in a restaurant that's been shot. So yeah, it was very weird. But it happened. But I was too British about it. I was like, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just gonna keep it.
I hate that about us, because I once ordered a cocktail and had some fruit on top of it, and the fruit was quite clearly visibly mouldy. It was all fuzzy and horrible. It took me 15 minutes to pluck up the courage to go and ask for a new one. Why are we like this?
Man, like if I feel I'm within my rights to not complain but just bring it to the establishment's attention, I am emboldened with a courage that I wouldn't normally have.
I'm really sorry, but my drink's got mold in it. I'm so sorry. I don't want to cause a fuss.
It is a bit like that. I mean, I don't mind I think they didn't bring one of our drinks at first because we ordered it in a kind of staggered way. And when they eventually brought some food, I said, "Oh, can I think we're still waiting on this drink." And they're like, "Oh yeah, sorry." So with certain things, arguably more mundane and not even worth kicking up a fuss about, I was like, "Yeah, where's my drink?" But when there's an actual bit of maybe lead inside my food, for some reason I didn't. I think to be honest, I think the real reason I didn't complain is that they might want to see the pellet and they might then confiscate the pellet from me, and I wanted to keep it, so I didn't want to tell anyone about
it.
Oh, that's cute.
Wow.
Well, you got it now. Where are you gonna keep it? Have you got like a little box for it?
I don't know. Maybe in the fridge. Just to add to food in future if you ever want to relive the experience.
I was going to say you should take it to another pub and just push it into whatever you eat. And say, what the
there
hell,
you go.
guys? There's still a ball bearing in here from when you shot my fish.
Yeah, oh my God, there's still a ball bearing in this chip. What the hell have you done? God.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you
for sharing that.
Oh,
my Tory experience. My Tory story.
Your Tory story.
Tory story. Very good.
We've got another question here. This time from Tommy the Wank Engine at Triglyceride T on Twitter. I recently got very drunk, turned on the shower, then passed out on the bathroom floor, leaving my new roommate to believe I drowned.
Oh my God.
What's the worst / most embarrassing things you lads have done while drinking the Devil's Drink trademark?
Oh my God! Sorry, can we just all take a moment to picture that scene?
Yeah, his roommate thinking he'd died.
Were you naked on the floor, Tom?
It's impressive.
Oh, God,
it's impressive. I can kick us off if you want.
Oh please.
Yeah.
Because Peter was there for some of this.
Do you know? I was thinking about this the other day when I was driving home and. Was thinking about the first thing I was going to do when I got home. So I think this is what you're about to say.
Oh, what, going to do a wee when you got home?
Yeah.
No, we're thinking the same thing, yeah.
Okay.
So when Peter and his lovely fiancée, Amy, used to live in a different part of Newcastle, when we all used to work at What Culture, we came over, a few of us came over from the office to sort of hang out one evening and have some drinks and play some board games and stuff. And I brought a little bottle of vodka with me, and I drank a fair bit of it. And I feel like it was only me and Amy who were really drunk, and everyone else was quite just having a nice time.
I was going to say, it was one of those nights where half the room drinks a lot and the other half doesn't. I think Jules as well had a little bit, had a fair bit.
It's possible.
Then there were like 2 or 3 others who were like, yeah, you guys enjoy.
You guys are being loud, aren't you? Because I think all I remember is Amy and I loudly singing that Persona 5 battle theme. You'll never see it coming. Just over and over again.
Over and over.
And it came time to go home. Of course, the public transport in Newcastle's pretty good. So hopped down onto the metro, and I was just sat there, really drunk, waiting to get back home. And as sort of about 5 minutes into the journey, I thought, I have never needed a piss more in my entire life. And I don't think the metro stations have bathrooms at them, or some of them don't anyway.
Yeah, most of them don't, no.
So I was like, I can't go on the train. I can't go in the station. Maybe I can just piss in a bush on the way home. But, and again, Peter can attest to this, and maybe Mikey as well. The metro station closest to mine, because I moved back in, when I came back to Newcastle, I moved sort of just around the corner from where I used to live. There's not a lot of privacy or hidden areas. It's all quite public.
It's like a main road, buses everywhere.
Yeah, so I staggered all the way home, the whole time busting for a wee. Got into my flat, unlocked the door, got in, shut the door behind me, threw off my coat, opened the bathroom door, pissed myself.
He got all the way home.
Yeah.
The body was just like, oh, we're here,
was like,
do
no, I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. It was like a foot. There was like 1 foot to go until I was there, and I could not make it. to the bathroom and I wet myself. Just for the first couple of seconds, and I was like, "Fuck's sake!" And then I did the rest in the toilet. But I just couldn't. I just couldn't
at that
wait.
point, does it matter?
I was just so excited about going to the toilet that I couldn't hold it anymore. So I'd say, bad things have happened when I've been drunk before, but not, I haven't hurt anyone or hurt myself. Like I know Mikey's injured himself a few times, but that was certainly one that I think I was on a What Culture charity stream at like 5 a.m. because they were doing a 24-hour one on the wrestling channel. Excuse me. And I then had to get up, go there, and the first thing I did was say, "Oh, I pissed myself last night." It was really weird because I thought it was really funny, and it is funny, obviously. But I just wanted the world to know.
I don't know. There's several stories you can come out with after being drunk. A lot of them are like, "Oh, that's quite funny." If you just come out with, "Yeah, I got so drunk that I pissed myself last night," you just get some concerned looks. It's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
That's I could not imagine the abject fear in just your whole body in those few seconds leading up to the pissing, because I've been in situations like that. Thankfully, I've never got to that point where I've just done a wee or a poo on myself. But it's like
you're in pain,
you're sweating, you're clambering around,
like it really
horrible.
hurts.
Yeah.
Oh,
there is that whole doorstep incontinence thing, isn't there? Where if you'd been 5 minutes from your house, you probably could have lasted longer than you did. But because you were there, your body's like, I'll be able to do it in 3 seconds. So I'm gonna give you a 3-second warning. And if you're slower than 3 seconds, fuck you.
That used to happen to me. There was a period of a couple of months where my bodily functions just so happened to line up with when I left school. So I'd get about 5 minutes away from my house, and the biggest urge to do a poo would come over me. And it, as I kept walking, I start running a bit quicker. I'd be palms sweaty, knees weak, pants heavy.
You're full of mum spaghetti.
Oh, it kept happening. It was just the worst. It meant I had to scramble upstairs. I'd run up the stairs, coat off, bag off, just to get. Oh, I'm glad my cycle's changed a bit, because that was not fun.
Your cycle, yeah.
My cycle, yes.
My drunk thing, I'm sure it's the classic "I've been doing a podcast for more than a year and a half" phrase. I must have talked about this before. But here it is. When I was at uni in my second year, these guys who lived in a house not far from us, it was a 21st birthday party, and we went there, and we were playing a drinking game, and there was a girl there who I had a few
yeah, come on. Did you do kisses and cuddles?
Rendezvous with in the past, and was still trying to stay in with all that kind of attention. And so we were playing this drinking game, and then we were sort of halfway through, and she was saying, "Oh, I don't want to really keep playing this. Like, I know that's kind of the point of the game. Like, it's sort of an endurance thing, but I don't really want to." And I was like, "Hey, I'll drink for you as well." I got very, very drunk. One of the last things I had before I started throwing up in the toilet at 11 o'clock in the night, when we'd only been there for 2 hours, was some amaretto. And now I can never drink amaretto again. And I don't like anything that's marzipan-y or almondy, partly because of that. So yeah, only a couple of hours into the night, I was like throwing up in their bathroom. And the one person who came and looked after me for a lot of the night was the guy whose birthday it was. He was like sitting with me while I was vomiting in his bathroom. All of my mates who lived with me went home at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning without me. And then when I sort of was able to actually stand up without being sick again, I was like, okay, I'm going to walk home. It's just around the corner. And again, this guy whose birthday it was like, "Oh, I'll make sure you get home all right. I'll come and I'll walk back with you." I was like, "Oh, you don't have to do that, but thanks very much." And as we're walking back, he's saying to me, "I really think you should try and eat something when you get in. I know you don't want to." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to. You can't make me. And he was like, "I really think you should." I was like, No, you can't make me." And as we crossed Halford's car park, he looked down on the floor and saw a paper bag from a bakery. And when he reached when he reached into it, there was a gingerbread man inside, as well as a pack of colouring pencils and like a kiddie's fun pack.
Did you eat the pencils?
He insisted that I eat the gingerbread man.
Oh no!
And I was sort of still drunk enough that I was like, fine, whatever. And I like gingerbread, but I have this memory, and I don't know if it's because I do actually remember this or because he told me this after the fact or whether it's even true, but I have a memory that even there was a leg missing from this gingerbread man.
Oh, man.
So it wasn't even a fresh, immaculate gingerbread man. So that's one of the worst things I've done.
That's bad.
Dear.
I ate a Halford's car park floor gingerbread man.
Oh, dear, Peter. Oh, dear. He's still here, so it couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it in today's climate. Let's just say
probably
that much.
Not. I've just remembered one. I remembered it because there's photographic proof of it happening. It's a little bit gross. So we were at... Actually, I can find the exact time this happened. 12th of February, 2012, this happened. We were at a friend's house party, and we thought it'd be a good idea to do the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah.
And so I took a big old spoonful of that cinnamon, and oh boy, did it go wrong. I vomited everywhere.
Oh, no. Shit, you're not meant to... I've never seen that happen with the cinnamon.
No, I've never seen anyone react that way.
It was horrible, because it was like the not being able to breathe, the coughing, and also the vomiting all in one. I've got a picture of the middle of it. It's not that gross, but the sink does look a little bit vomity. Do you want me to send it?
Yeah,
sure.
Would you be okay with us tweeting this, depending on how gross it is?
Oh, absolutely. I'll let you judge if it's worthy. But you can just see the pain in my eyes.
You look so unwell.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I can fucking smell it.
The vodka, the dirty cinnamon spoon, the clumpy sink, the empty alcohol bottles all around it.
The dirty spoon is so bad. Oh no.
Okay, this is going on Twitter.
The worst bit of this is the person whose house we're staying at, his sister got really angry at us, but she didn't get angry at me. For some reason, my friend, who you can see in the background trying to clear up my mess, got the full front of like her force, and I got off scot-free.
Too busy posing for photos.
Oh, God.
Look at your fucking face.
The cinnamon vomit sink. Look at it.
That's on Twitter now. Great, thanks. Oh, man.
Jesus.
That's
incredible.
The lack of context that people are going to have for that while they wait for this episode to come out is just fantastic.
Please do go and follow us on Twitter at Vidiots Official if you want to see every time we do one of these recordings. As you've probably guessed by now, there's a thread. There's a picture of Dave Benson Phillips that goes up that signals the recording of an episode, and then we reply in a thread all the relevant photos that we discuss as we go. So make sure you go check those out.
That's a beauty. And yeah, I don't think that's the worst thing I've ever done, but that's definitely a highlight.
What a highlight it is. Michael, your thing.
Hello. Oh, I've got a lovely thing today. Have you boys ever heard of Action Park?
No. I was about to say no, but I kind of feel like I might have now that you say that. I don't know.
So Action Park was a theme park in America, notorious for how just stupidly dangerous it was.
Right.
And so I've got like a little history of it. I've got all the highlights of the shit that went down at Action Park. It's one of those things that I'd heard about. I knew a little bit about it, but I never properly read into it. And now that I've read into it, it's like, holy crap, what went on in this place? So I'm going to give you all a little story about the best theme park in the world. Eugene Mulvihill was a New Jersey businessman with interests all over the place, and he found himself in the mid-70s the sole owner of Vernon Valley / the Great Gorge, a ski resort in Sussex County, about an hour's drive northwest of New York City. Mulvihill faced the dilemma of all ski operators. How do you monetize the property in the warm weather months? His idea drifted towards amusements, but not the standard roller coasters and carousels, but a more self-engaging fare. His ski resort company was called Great American Recreation, and damn it, Gene Mulvihill was going to recreate in what he considered the American way. I didn't proofread this.
That's okay.
He was going to recreate in what he considered the American way. Don't know what that means, but there you go. And thus, Action Park was born from this dilemma he was in. It opened on July 4th, 1979, and Gene came up with 2 opening day promotions that perhaps hinted at his target demographic. A Dolly Parton lookalike contest and a tobacco spitting competition.
Ooh, wow.
Off to a good start.
Billy Ray would fit right in.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Oh, the tobacco spitting, Dolly Parton loving walrus. As the risk takers started coming to Action Park, Gene built Fast and Furious, spreading the gospel with gloriously cheesy commercials that emphasized a live-on-the-edge ambiance, kids zooming out of water slides and ramming each other on go-karts. I highly recommend searching Action Park commercial because it is like the most radical, bodacious American thing ever. It's like, I love Action Park, it's sick!
Okay.
Kids flying off water slides in the background.
Okay.
When Gene discovered that the force of hitting the water at the bottom of Surf Hill could tear off bathing suits, he took immediate action. By building a grandstand so spectators could watch his teenage burlesque show.
What? Jeez.
Oh boy, it's that kind of place. When a local TV reporter filming a live segment on the 70-foot bungee jump refused to take the leap, Andy's younger brother, Christopher, pushed him off the ledge, and he was acting under instructions from the park's public relations director when he was doing that. So the management already completely messed up. The braddest dudes you'll ever see. The park was definitely a product of a different time, but it helped that Gene was an expert at schmoozing investigators and would-be investigators. That used the word investigators twice there. Good writing, me. For a while, he even got away with setting up his own insurance company based in the Cayman Islands.
Wow.
I guess no one else would insure him at this point.
Yeah.
Eventually, Mulvihill opened 3 Action Park areas: Alpine Centre, Motor World, and Water World. What linked the three lands was this: that chaos was king. The Alpine Centre included the aforementioned slide and bungee jump, and later the Gladiator Challenge, which pitted pugil stick-wielding visitors against park-employed combatants. On one occasion, a visitor who'd been bopped 1 many times with the bopping stick of a gladiator returned with a few friends, which prompted the gladiator to get a few of his own fellow warriors. The result was an all-out melee involving several dozen people, and when the Vernon police eventually restored order, it was all in a day's work for a force that on another occasion had to break up a fight between lifeguards and a group of bodybuilders who'd thrown the guards into the pool.
Oh, God's sake.
This place sounds amazing. In Motorworld, employees learned that sticking tennis balls into the governor devices of the super go-karts and the Lola cars allowed them to go much faster than their advertised 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, as high as 50 miles an hour.
What?
The battle action tanks were another extremely popular feature. Opponents commanded mini-rigs and fired tennis ball cannons at one another while getting fired upon too by spectators who paid to shoot them from afar. In the spirit of driving range patrons who aimed their shots at the per sap collecting golf balls, so could the shooters aim at the workers disengaging tangled carts and picking up stray balls. But it was in Waterworld that things got the most wild and crazy. Some highlights include the Tarzan swing, which swung 20 feet high over a spring-fed pool, and if you let go too early, you could fall onto cushions, but you could also fall onto rocks and then roll into the water. Oh, if you held on too long, you could scrape yourself on the concrete on the far side, and if you didn't let go at all, freaked out by the drop, you might swing all the way back and tumble into the woods where you started. The thrill injury factor of the Aqua Scoot was perennially underrated. A rider sat on a plastic sled and went hurling down a 60-foot track slide so fast that he or she skimmed across the pool at the end. In theory, anyway. In practice, if positioned incorrectly, the sled could sink as soon as it hit the water, flinging the rider head first at good speed. The kayak experience closed in 1982 for reasons that will become clear later on. The Colorado River Ride, according to Simmons, I think it's someone who worked at the park, was pure mayhem. Tubers would fall out of their vessels at the various junctions, one of which presented a tunnel, or clunk their heads on rocks while jumping from one raft to another, or just generally tackle into each other. I like that language, that's good. The most infamous ride in this section of the park may have been the Cannonball Loop, a steep, enclosed tube slide that fed a 360-degree vertical turn. So it was a slide which would do a loop-de-loop, but taken there only by gravity.
What?
Oh,
no. Legend has it that a dummy sent down to test the ride early on came shooting out headless.
I think I've heard that before.
But the ride was ultimately opened, and it worked like this. After climbing 50 feet to reach the top, riders would get hosed down to reduce friction, clamber feet first into the dark shaft, and hope they got up enough momentum. Oh my God, Peter's
I just found a photo of it.
Hell.
Look at that. That's ridiculous.
Oh,
I'll add that to the thread.
Oh, please. They'd clamber feet first into the dark shaft and hope they got up enough momentum to negotiate the full loop and come shooting out the bottom. Maybe in the direction they entered, maybe not. But the greater danger was clearly at the wave pool, introduced in 1981, where on hot weekend days, as many as 1,000 people would wade into a 100 by 200 foot basin, in which one of the country's first mechanical wave machines produced a greater than 3-foot swell. The customer base included thousands of New Yorkers who couldn't swim, but figured they could. Body surfers would crash into each other in the crowd, and strugglers could quickly disappear into the dark bottom. The wave pool was legitimately terrifying, said a crew member, and he was a lifeguard.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Rescues are rare at most ocean beaches, but action park guards made up to 30 a day. It was simply the norm, says Simmons. At one point, staff decided that if a visitor was pulled out, he or she had to wear a wristband that read CFS. Can't fucking swim. But unfortunately, with the slightly more humorous side of all these injuries, there was a more real tragedy to the park, as was inevitable when you're doing this pure chaos. On July 8th, 1980, a 19-year-old park employee named George Larson was taking an after-hours ride on the Alpine slide when he was flung from the track. He flew about 25 feet, hit his head on a rock, and fell into a coma, and unfortunately died several days later.
Oh, Jesus.
But that's not all. 2 summers on, 15-year-old George Lopez. Wow, there's another celebrity called George Lopez. I'm going to assume it's a different George Lopez. Unfortunately, I shouldn't be joking. He drowned in a wave pool. Very sad. Sorry, George Lopez. Didn't mean to discredit your good name. A week after that, so not even like a good amount of time between deaths, Jeffrey Nathan, 27, collapsed while riding the whitewater kayak experience. He allegedly suffered an electric shock, triggering a cardiac arrest, and died at hospital. There's more deaths, but as I'm reading them, I don't like it's getting sadder and sadder.
How many deaths are? You could just tell us the total number if that would be easier.
There was 6 deaths, at least in the list I've got. Wow. And I don't understand how, even in like the 70s, 80s, after one death, you wouldn't go, maybe this place shouldn't be open.
3 of them were people drowning in the tidal wave pool, apparently.
Yeah,
3
that's
people
mental.
Drowned in the tidal wave pool.
I think that was the thing about the tidal pool. I think a lot of the time they use salt water to make people more buoyant. But in this one, they were just using spring water, so it just made it so much harder to even be in it.
God.
But in truth, though, most visitors thought more about the daily drumbeat of injuries than they did about the fatalities. Almost everyone sustained some kind of bang-up at Action Park. It was part of the appeal. But sadly, it couldn't go on forever, because when you kill 6 people, you really should stop, please.
Yeah.
Eager young thrill seekers were disappointed in the summer of 1997 when they journeyed to Vernon, only to find Action Park's doors closed. With the fraud indictment and other settlements related to various lawsuits, 3 of them from park fatalities, the problems were piling up. Great American Recreation, which was reportedly as much as $48 million in debt, had gone bankrupt. And after this, the park was sold on to a new owner who took charge, and Action Park became Mountain Creek Water Park, which still open to this day, I think. It carries on the spirit of Action Park, but in a considerably safer setting. Gone is the Tarzan swing. The Colorado River ride now requires a helmet, and of course, the wave pool is now far tamer. That's the story of Action Park.
I know where I've heard of it from now, which is the Johnny Knoxville movie.
I was going to say, has it inspired? Because I'd heard about this Johnny Knoxville film too.
Yeah, so there's a TV documentary about it, which I now really want to watch. But yeah, there was a Johnny Knoxville film about it.
Action Point, it was called.
Action Point, that's it, yeah. Which unfortunately flopped, and it wasn't a very good film. And I read an interview with Johnny Knoxville. He felt really upset about that. He felt he didn't do the park owners justice.
Didn't he legitimately injure himself a few times doing stunts on that film?
Oh yeah, let me see. Action Park, Johnny Knoxville injuries.
Yeah, I think there were several people doing stunts. I think some of the Jackass cast were on it doing real stunts.
Let's have a look. Oh, I can't find any, but the thing is with Action Park, it was much like Jackass in that it wasn't obviously everything was quite controlled and safe, but it was doing pretty death-defying things, and he got injured. But hey, that's what Johnny Knoxville does best, and we love him for it.
Absolutely. Wow, Michael, thank you for teaching us about Action Park. Yeah, incredible. Right, it's time for another question. This one comes from Samuel DeBarber at Samuel DeBarber on Twitter. How do you separate yourselves from the production/content creating pressures? How do you avoid getting caught up in the numbers and the comments and the anxiety of delivering?
Oh, that's a fun one. I think I have a genuine issue with YouTube comments in that I've legitimately read every single comment that has ever been posted on a Vidiots video from the beginning.
Really? Do you still do it?
Still to this day?
Still do it.
Really?
It's insane. Like at the beginning, I was checking to make sure, okay, is everything going down well? Make sure everyone's liking the videos. Okay, cool. And then it just became part of my daily routine. Go check the comments, read every single one. And for some reason, even today, I just like to keep tabs on it. And it's definitely not a good thing to be doing, as everyone knows. Don't do that. Don't read the comments. It's not worth it. But I physically can't pull myself away from it.
Wow.
But I think with Vidiots, we definitely kind of did our own thing despite the looming financial doom.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's in a way that's a whole different thing, is how what we did with Vidiots and how we managed it and stuff. But certainly today, I think certainly with Podiots, I don't worry too much about how well it does. We don't have any outgoings with it really, other than a little bit of hosting every year, which it currently more than pays for. So there's no pressure to make it do really well. It's not a full-time job, it's not paying any bills, it's just pocket money. So I don't worry about the stats and the algorithm or anything like that. I obviously want it to do as well as it can, but I think with Triple Jump, of course, I care a lot more about how well things are doing there. But even then, I prefer to look at the numbers at least than read the comments. I think I'll read the comments of a new format to see what people think of that. I think that's useful. I might read the comments occasionally to see, what did we miss out from this list? Let us know in the comments below, because I think that is useful to know, especially if we're doing a follow-up list. But yeah, with a lot of things, I just don't read them. I just stay well away. But other than that, on social media, I know some people say that social media, broadly speaking, they find very toxic and difficult, and it's not good for them. And Twitter specifically, I've seen a lot of people say, I'm taking a Twitter break. I need a Twitter break because it's not good for me. And, obviously, everyone responds to this differently, and I understand that some people might find it a very hostile environment. But in my personal experience, I've not really had too many issues with Twitter. So I'm fortunate in that the only social media platform I use now is Twitter. I don't use Facebook anymore. And for me, it just seems actually quite a decent place. I don't find it that depressing any more than just the news is generally, and I'm going to see that on the TV or whatever, so that's not Twitter's fault. But in terms of the way people are with me and the things that we make, I don't really find that too bad, so that's okay for me.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have some lovely fan bases, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I learned pretty immediately at What Culture, just don't look at the comments. There wasn't anything particularly scarring or, upsetting that was in there that prevented me from ever looking at comments again. But it was just like, wow, comment section, in particular, the What Culture comment sections were awful. Just generally speaking, they were awful. And so I don't from that point on, I've never ever looked at the comments. I've gone in a couple of times, as Peter said, with Triple Jump, obviously really care about what's going on there. But I don't even look at the new reactions to the new formats. I don't look at the comments whenever I can, really. There's no reason I would go in there. And if I do, I scroll down just far enough to maybe see the top 2 comments, which are the most upvoted ones, so they tend not to be awful. But in general, just stay away from comments. The comments are the worst part, and ignorance is very much bliss in that regard. It's where most of the toxicity is. And if someone's going to be an arsehole to you, they're going to be an arsehole to you in the comments of YouTube videos. I have maybe on one hand I can count on one hand the amount of times someone has actively gone out of their way to find me on Twitter and say something nasty to me, and that was from What Culture. I've never had it since. So it says, not only does it speak volumes about how much it's worth avoiding YouTube comments, but in a larger sense, it speaks volumes about just how cowardly the people who are being nasty are, in that they won't lift a finger to come and tell it to you to your face. They'll just drop it in a comments section and fuck off and just.
They're not trying to be constructive.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. They don't want to help. They just want to tear you down. So for me, avoiding the comment section is paramount. And as Peter said, when it comes to Vidiots and Podiots now, not too fussed about the numbers. Obviously, we want it to do well, but it's not. It's not make or break for us. It's not our job. Yes. Whereas Triple Jump, we're always looking at the numbers, and fortunately, in the past, 5 or 6 months, things have really picked up for us and started to do really well, which is fantastic. But there's still occasionally, you'll put out a list that 3 separate people have worked on, whether it be editing, writing, or doing the voiceover, and then you see it top out at about 6,000 views, and it's like, why? That sucks. Why is that not done anything? And we've come to the realization, and we've discussed it ad nauseum, and I'm sure we will have the same discussion until the end of time. Yeah. But there's only so many things with YouTube that you can control, and it seems to be sometimes just a fucking lottery if your videos actually get shown not only to the people who subscribe to your channel, but get shown to people outside of that base. And it's totally at YouTube's algorithm's discretion. And I would say that is probably my only source of frustration and anxiety in terms of producing content for the internet. Is just, will this video we worked on even be watched by anyone?
Yeah.
Especially special stuff. I don't, even with lists, I don't worry too much. Again, still want them to do well. But, if a list does cap out or top out at 6,000 views, it's like, oh, that really sucks, but it's a list and we'll get them next time. But for example, when we read the novelization of the Sonic movie in front of a roaring log fire, that seemed like such a fun idea, and it just didn't do anything. And that's like, oh man, that's an actual shame that has happened with that idea. Or when we do when we've done prove-its in the past, that we've worked really hard on the live action challenge.
It's like the first Let's Play episode to get 10,000-15,000 views, and then the final live action one, which we'd spend days working on, would get about 8. It's like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the format, is really just leading up to the grand finale, and it's like, oh, watch the first 30 minutes of gameplay and not watch the good bit.
Yeah. I think the sort of, if you can avoid, if you really need to be able to separate the performance of what you're making giving you anxiety, and when I say anxiety, I mean in the general sense of just frustration, from people being nasty to you on the internet because people are assholes. You know, that if you can separate those two things, then you're probably going to find it a lot more manageable. And in terms of people being assholes on the internet, you can look at the reasons why. Are people being assholes to you because you're reading YouTube comments? Then maybe it's time to stop reading YouTube comments. Are people being assholes to you because just by virtue of you being on Twitter? Then maybe it is time to take a break from Twitter.
Yeah,
you know, you just got to cut stuff out to, you know, avoid the assholes where you can, especially if you're committed to making this kind of stuff.
It's just reminded me of my nephew had a YouTube channel for a bit. He'd do like gameplay videos. He'd do like videos about all these Pokemon plushies and all that. And the other month I was like, oh, I'll go check in, see if he's done any new YouTube videos. And then I go check the About page, and the description of his now abandoned YouTube channel is, "No, I hate YouTubing. It's not for me. Sorry."
Brilliant.
Oh, dear.
Amazing.
So bless him. He tried.
One for the thread, surely.
Brilliant.
No context.
That's great.
It's been beaten to death, but as always, make the content for you, especially if this is just a hobby. Like, you just cannot go into it expecting success, because when it doesn't happen, it'll only lead to anxiety, frustration, stress. If you focus on doing something like, oh, I want to play around with this, let's try this, let's like just have some fun with this, let's try something new, let's learn something new and put that in a video, focus on that. I think that, like, you can tell when heart goes into a video, when like it's something you really care about and you put a lot of work into it. And if you start like going down the easy route of trying to fish for views, then it doesn't become your work, it doesn't have your personality, and then also it's just like, just do you have fun. But yeah, if you're in the liberating state of not having to rely on it financially, just have fun.
Yeah,
have fun.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
It's time for my thing.
It is.
Ooh.
Guys, there is drama in the queer penguin community.
Whoa.
Oh no, not the queer penguins.
This is a news story from thecut.com, and it is it's quite a roller coaster. Here we go. Drama is afoot in the Dutch queer penguin community after two gay lovers with a reputation for trouble stole an entire nest of eggs from a neighbouring lesbian couple at the same zoo.
Oh my god.
Within the queer penguin community at large, fostering eggs is relatively common. On multiple occasions, zoos and aquariums have gifted unhatched eggs to gay and lesbian couples exhibiting behaviour that suggests they're desperate for a chick, like building mock nests out of pebbles, which is obviously adorable.
Cute.
But rather than demanding the same of their caretakers, one pair of African penguins at the Dieren Park Zoo in Amersfoort instead took the matter into their own claws by snatching eggs from two mothers-to-be.
Wow.
The conniving boys have since been sharing caregiving duties, taking turns keeping the eggs warm and foraging for fish.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
What's more, this isn't the first time the fellas have resorted to unlawful action. Just last year, the same couple stole an egg from a different penguin family and faced zero repercussions for doing so. It's no wonder, after that egg didn't hatch, they felt emboldened to steal again. Meanwhile, the female penguins have no recourse, it says. While the lesbian couple are the victims here, it's unlikely the boys will get the happy ending they so desperately desire. According to the zookeeper, there's a decent chance that the stolen eggs were never fertilized, meaning chicks may never hatch from them. When you think about it, it's really quite sad for all penguins involved. Hopefully the zookeepers will step in and give everyone free eggs soon.
God.
Free eggs. We'll all go down there and protest, please.
So there we are. Two gay penguins have stolen a whole load of eggs from two lesbian penguins, and they're now looking after the eggs, but it's unlikely that they'll hatch.
I can see the wild, inappropriate discourse now. Person A says, ooh, being gay is unnatural. Person B says, hey, what are you talking about? It happens in nature. Look at these penguins. They're gay and they want to like foster an egg. person A says, just proves that gay people are out to steal babies. It's naturally in them. That's what they want to do. All those baby napping gay people.
This is the definitive proof of that sentiment.
Yes, because a penguin did it in a zoo.
A penguin did
the
it.
Future liberals want.
I like
gay baby thieving.
I like how it's not the first time the penguins have done it.
Yeah,
and apparently they weren't even shamed for it enough last time, so they thought it was okay.
Have you seen that zoo that does like naughty penguin of the week and best penguin of the week?
Oh no, I haven't.
Yeah, I think I've heard.
I'm just going to find one and send it through. So let's have a look. Penguin of the month was Mo, who perfected the art of fish stealing and even takes it out of other birds' mouths.
Wow,
that's a good thing, is it?
Sorry, that was the naughty penguin.
That doesn't say.
Great. And the good penguin was being a good was Flip for being a good role model, swims well, eats nicely, and knows how to penguin.
You can say fuck, Michael. It's Podiots. Flip.
Fuck the penguin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great name for a penguin.
I'm going to do one more. We got naughty penguin of the month was Bernie. He's learning bad habits from Mo, pecking the others in the face during feeding, and Draco was the good penguin for standing up for Timmy when Tux is trying to push him off the pier.
Oh, that's good.
I want to work in a penguin enclosure. It sounds amazing.
Just making up stories based on the actions of these wild animals.
Oh, man.
Incredible.
Thank you for sharing the Dutch LGBT penguin community.
Yeah, well, I'll keep you posted on the drama in the queer penguin community. I'm assuming it's just going to escalate in ever larger hijinks between these two couples, and I am very excited to find out what's going to happen next.
It reminds me, the Naughty Penguins reminds me of a story I read the other day about a swearing parrot in a zoo that's had to be moved indoors away from the public. And they said, oh yeah, this parrot's learned bad language, and we've had to like move it away from public display into like the back where we keep some other parrots. And the quote from the zookeeper was something like, we're hoping that the good parrot's behavior will rub off on the foul-mouthed parrot. Otherwise, I will end up with 12 bad-mouthed parrots, and I don't know what I will do at that point. It was just the sort of the air of like, if that happens, I'm totally fucked. Like.
Yeah. They've missed a trick there. That you don't shove them away in the back room. You give them their own exhibit and make people pay £1, 18 plus only, to go see the swearing parrot.
Yeah, indeed.
That's a moneymaker.
I'd
right
pay
there.
for it.
Yeah, I want to see a parrot say shit.
Amazing. Right,
beautiful.
We've got one final question. This comes from Harvey Latham at Harvey Latham 197 on Twitter with different capitalizations of each letter for some reason.
Wild.
Brian Butterfield has COVID. It's a Sunday and he's feeling sick due to Saturday treat day. You are all trapped in quite a big room, but you can't escape. So for
Why
now,
does this sound like it was written by Brian Butterfield?
It does sound very Butterfield, doesn't it? Brian Butterfield has COVID. It's a Sunday and he's feeling sick due to Saturday treat day. You are all trapped in quite a big room, but you can't escape, so for now you're safe. But Mr. Fluffy Ruffs is coming towards you very slowly. How do you fight off this massive loud boy?
I would maybe just remind him that Sunday is rest day, and he shouldn't.
Oh, very good. Yeah.
He shouldn't be coming towards us at all.
Oh, I've just tried to look up the different Butterfield businesses. There's a Butterfield Business Park in Luton.
Wow.
Where they're all based.
Yeah, Stuart Butterfield, Wikipedia. That's not what I want to look at.
Cool now.
Oh, there's the Butterfield Business Group.
Wow.
I just want to...
That must be terrible for people trying to Google them.
Yeah.
Brian Butterfield businesses. Brian, there's a LinkedIn. Hang on, okay. I just need to confirm this. Yeah, right. So someone's made a LinkedIn profile. Brian Butterfield, businessman at Butterfield Industries, it says. If you would like to contact me about myself, this internet website, Butterfield Industries, the Butterfield Diary, The Butterfield celebrities. What is this? This was... And then it just ends with, then please. And then there's a colon. Wow. Okay,
Brian.
so I think I've got a list of all Brian's businesses here.
Okay.
So... Okay, I think some of these are fake. The Butterfield Loft Insulatory Services. I don't remember that YouTube video. Okay, no, never mind. I was gonna say maybe there's a relevant business that we could just sort of remind Brian that he needs to be, perhaps tending to, like the Butterfield Hotel.
I've got one.
Go on.
I'm on the Wikipedia page, and it turns out Brian Butterfield had a speaking clock service. So we just tell him, I want to know the time every second.
Yeah.
So then he's forced to not interact with us, but sit in the corner and just say the time every second.
Is that the one where they ring him up and he looks at the clock and just says, "It's about 3:15." Just sort of makes a vague guess.
I think so.
A round guess.
What about if we used the clock in the room? It's quite a big room, so there might be a clock in it.
Yeah.
If we wound it back so it's Saturday, do you reckon he'd just keep eating?
Oh, he might do, yeah.
Oh, true, yeah.
If there's a calendar or something.
Yes.
We could also ask him what's on the menu at the Butterfield restaurant, because the menus haven't been delivered yet, but he will do his very best to remember.
Yeah, if you ask him, he'll do his very best.
And that might, again, distract him for a short time, especially if all of the meals available on the diet plan are, on the menu.
Yeah.
You have to try and remember them all.
He would. That would be amazing. Maybe ask him to show off his collection of celebrity outfits or impersonations, that he does.
The hats,
Lord's Mayor, Croupier.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Loads of different ones. Get him to sing some karaoke, perhaps.
I've in the Wikipedia page, I didn't know this. Don't know if you know it, but apparently Brian Butterfield is kind of based on a real life person.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah, the actor Basil Soper, who was in the personal injury helpline adverts, and I was just about to listen to an advert, and it sounds amazingly similar.
Okay. Oh, really?
Oh my god! It does just sound like him, doesn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh Jesus!
It looks like him too. He's got the. I'm amazed that he ripped that off so shamelessly. He's got the same hair, the same moustache.
I've been injured at what? It is the same.
That's incredible.
The way he said, about 9 seconds, he says, "Now there's no need to worry," but he definitely says, "Now there's no need to worry." So I've got the DN beginning of now. Now.
And nothing taken from the money you're rewarded. It's all the sort of emphasis is the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that is amazing. Can't believe Brian Butterfield is a real person.
I'm just going to for the benefit of people at home, I'm going to quickly open it on my phone and just play it through the microphone so people can actually hear it. Because it's like, I'm not mad at the existence of that. I'm just kind of really impressed at how close it is.
The related videos is the clip when he was on Shooting Stars and he falls off his chair.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Okay, here we go. Here's the video.
Have you been injured, had an accident at work, or on the road, or in a public place? Unsure if you have a claim for compensation? Concerned about hidden charges? Now, there is no need to worry. The Personal Injury Helpline will handle your claim with no charges and nothing taken from the money you're awarded. So, for a risk-free quality service, call us free now on 0800 085 1715. If you don't make the call, you'll never know.
I'm really upset they don't have a website for double.
The comments are amazing. People have put bread and ham deltoids and bomb.
Just please bear with me as I'm the only one manning the phones.
Lord Mayor's Croupier. Brilliant.
She slipped and fell, badly bruising her back and both buttocks. That's fantastic.
Ice cubes and artificial sweetener.
That's so good. What a discovery.
Yeah.
That's great.
Wow. Okay, well, there we go. Ending on a high there. Thank you, everybody, for your things, and also people at home for your questions. What is it that I read here? Here it is. Store.yogscast.com. We've got some merch there if you'd like to consider maybe buying some. There's some Podiots stuff too. Isn't that right, Mikey?
Oh, absolutely right. If you head over to store.yogscast.com, shop.yogscast.com, you can find a lovely selection of beautifully crafted Vidiots merch, including t-shirts, mugs, and more t-shirts. Oh, and a hoodie. Nope, yeah, the hoodie's still there. Good.
Phone case if you're in America for some reason.
Ooh, fancy. And the best bit is there's a special code which gives you a special surprise at checkout. If you use code VIDIOTS at checkout, you will get 10% off every single thing on the Yogscast store. Wow. Everything. So please buy some merch, look stylish, and be the coolest boy in town.
Fuck yeah. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all.com/Vidiots official. Twitch.tv/Vidiots official as well. We do streams there sometimes. I'm thinking of, depending on if we go down the fucking second lockdown, technically my friend Ben is in my bubble because I don't fucking see anyone. So he may be coming to visit just before Christmas, so I might do a stream then, and that'll be fun.
Oh, nice.
Did so many streams on Vidiots, and it's been ages since I've done one now.
Yeah.
It's time to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, so twitch.tv/Vidiots official, if you want to check us out there. Streamlabs.com/Podiots donations with a question mark, with an S on the end is what I meant to say. Donate £3 or more. You get a shout out at the beginning and the end of the show. You'll join Pod Squad and we'll super duper appreciate it. Mikey, what we got?
We got Cumbob Squarepants, Trunter's Beef Curtains, Cameron Skelly, Willie Defoe, One Val from She-Ra, Cheeky Last Minute Donation, Harry Houdini Fucked My Weenie, What Culture Bosses Love Trump, Boris the Cock Johnson, Stephen Scodes, Specky Becky, and Prince Beefcakes.
Also, a very tired Asda employee, Lord Brotovich, Emily Lemons, Stinky Poo Poo, Aaron Bollard, who was very generous, thank you again, Stukalicious is Pooping, Raw Cunting Daughter, Lance Corporal Scott Bukaki or Buttcake, Repeated Concussive Love Tap, Kermit the Pog, and Tiny Pete Big Feet.
JT the Destroyer, Freddie Weber, Big Titty Jesus 42, Kevin from Con, Alawi Drogi Nubopis, Chucky the Fucky Doll, Shit in My Bleep Then Bleep Me, Big Titty Jesus 42 again, Thin Dick Passive Boyfriend, thank you for the generous donation, Owen Wilson's Own Wilson, Invest in Hamster Cheese, and the lovable Kazy or Kazi. Thank you very much, everyone. That's your Pod Squad for this week. Once again, £3 or more, streamlabs.com/Podiots donations. We love you very, very much. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet?
Best to find me at Parrot Boy on the Twitters, where I occasionally post funny things and nice things. Skeletons, that's the last thing I've posted, so go and enjoy that. I'm also, as I'm sure we're getting to, we stream sometimes on twitch.tv/Vidiots official. I stream somewhat regularly, occasionally, sometimes, so keep your eye out on the Vidiots Twitter for when I'm streaming, and also on my own Twitter. Thank you.
Nice.
But you should change your bio to, no, I hate YouTubing, it's not for me.
Not for me.
You definitely should. Peter, where can people find us?
We are at confused_dude and at that Peter Austin on Twitter. But more importantly, we're over at Team Triple Jump on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter, where we're doing some formats that are very vidiotic in the sense that Rules Boss is still around, we're playing terrible games, we're doing live action challenges, we're cooking things. We're not doing all those things right now because there's a pandemic happening. You might have heard about it, but that's what we have done. There's a big back catalogue, and we will eventually resume doing.
Absolutely. Finally, leave us an iTunes review or a review/rating on your platform of choice. It helps something to do with Al Gore's rhythms. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming along. Do we have a final question for the people at home?
Oh. If you were a naughty penguin of the month, what would you have done that was so naughty?
Yeah.
We don't want to hear any of that good shit. Give us the naughty stuff.
Yeah.
You've been up to.
Who did you push off the cliff? Go on, tell us.
Go on. We won't tell. We will. Thank you, everybody. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.